Apple has the biggest budgets that I've ever seen for any commercial. Literally, money is not a problem for these guys. But that begs the question, would it be possible to create an Apple commercial if you didn't have unlimited money to spend? Today we answer that exact question. But first things first, the subject. I've already done the iPhone 15 before, but what about this time we did the Apple Watch? Better yet, what if we did the Apple Watch Ultra, because it's ultra and cooler. So now I needed to get my hands on the Apple Watch Ultra. Done. Next up is the location that we're actually going to film this commercial. For this commercial, I wanted to choose a location where we could feature a ton of different activities, and it also looks super picturesque both above and below the water. Maybe we go to some place like Hawaii? Yeah, Hawaii would be perfect. You can go hiking, biking, scuba diving all within the same day, and who doesn't want to go on a work trip to Hawaii? Let's book it. Okay, now that the location is set, it's time to assemble the team. First up, you've got me. I'm gonna play the actor for this commercial, and I think I'm the perfect fit. I'm handsome, I'm smart, I'm funny, I'm handsome, and most importantly, I'm humble. Next up, you've got Steven. He's gonna be the director, cinematographer, and DOP for this shoot, and he's lethal with a camera. It's gonna be his responsibility to make sure everything looks cinematic. Next up, you've got Lukas. He's a menace with the FPV drone, and he'll be responsible for getting the drone footage needed to take our commercial to the next level. He's also been to Hawaii more times than I can even count, so he's also gonna double as our producer, chauffeur, and make sure we hit all the best spots. Okay, now that we've got the A-team assembled, it's time to develop a plan. Our plan for the commercial was to showcase the Apple Watch while doing a whole bunch of different activities. This would show just how versatile and rugged it is. But that's enough of the boring stuff. It's time to get shooting. Okay, here we are, first morning, first sunrise in Hawaii. It popped off for us. It's really blown out, you probably can't see that. We got some awesome footage, and the whole reason that we are even here in Hawaii is because of these lenses. These are the Nisi Athena lenses. They are a kit of cinema lenses, and Nisi asked us to make a spec ad using these lenses. So here we are. We thought we'd come out to an exotic location like Hawaii to film exactly that. And so far, quite impressed with their performance. Also, something that I want to mention is that if you want to edit any of this footage that we are currently shooting on this trip, we're going to be releasing it to you guys to edit in our next editing contest. So depending on when you watch this video, it's already gonna be launched. If you don't know anything about the editing contest, what we do is we give you footage, you edit the footage and submit it back to us, and then you get to win some pretty awesome prizes like an iPhone, a drone, even a whole camera kit. If you're interested in potentially winning a prize, go down to the link in the description. There's gonna be more information there. Also, it is completely free to enter, as well as you can enter no matter where you live in the world. It's open worldwide. We will ship you the prize if you end up winning. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys create. So good luck out there. And going back to the lenses that we used to shoot this video on, these lenses are super cool. And something that's really interesting about these lenses is that these lenses are actually smaller and lighter than other traditional cinema lenses. So they can go places and get shots that normal cinema lenses can't go. Also, each lens in the kit is the same size and weight, which means that if you're using these on a gimbal like we were, you don't have to rebalance the gimbals every single time you change the lens. And the subject for the spec ad today is this guy. This is the Apple Watch Ultra. So picked this thing up probably about 3 days ago before we came on the trip. We're just filming activities using the watch. It's more like a lifestyle piece to show how the watch is being used with different things. Yeah, this thing's also pretty cool. So I'm excited for the week ahead. I think we're gonna get some awesome looking footage. One of the main features that Apple loves to talk about is just how rugged this thing is.
The rugged.
So to showcase that in our commercial, we wanted to get some product shots that showcase just how rugged this thing is. So our plan for this shot here is because the Apple Watch has a sapphire crystal display, as well as made with titanium, it should be really rugged, which means that if our science is correct, these rocks shouldn't scratch it. So we're gonna do a shot where Steven's coming in here and kind of like does a side slide and then pushes rocks over the watch, and we'll film it in slow motion, and it should look pretty cool. Now, our science was basically
basically correct. The watch did make it through mostly unscathed. The screen didn't have any scratches on it, but the titanium body was kind of a different story. After our filming, I noticed that we did put some tiny little scratches and dents into the body of the Apple Watch, but the shot looked cool, so what can you do? Okay, once the sunrise was done, the next thing on our agenda was road biking. Our setup for this was a little bit sketchy. We had Steven hanging at the back of the Jeep with the camera, then we had Lukas driving the car, then it was my job to get as close as I possibly could without hitting anything.
Get closer!
Then once that was done, we tried to get a pretty creative shot. So we've rigged up this, it's a GoPro stick plus Allen key plus duct tape, and you get this contraption. It's not the sturdiest thing in the world, but it should get the job done and give us the shot we need. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you don't fall off. Here we go! This thing is too wobbly. I got a ditch. Okay, some upgrades to the last setup we had. It was too wobbly, so we put a tripod here as a cross brace. So it should be a little bit better, and you won't see this tripod and I'll ride down. So let's go. Oh yeah, this is way better. So even after all that work, this shot never ended up making its way into the final video, just because when we got to the edit, the pacing was slightly different than we had planned, and this shot just didn't fit. But also another thing that we ended up shooting but didn't make its way into the final edit was this cool tree canopy area that we filmed at. We got some pretty awesome looking footage here, but again, it just didn't fit into the 60-second edit because you can't fit everything. But if you want to use any of this footage in your edit, it's going to be available in the editing contest, so you can go right ahead. And with that being said, back to the biking. Okay, we just finished up with the biking. I am so tired and I'm also really sweaty right now. It's looking really good. The lighting was impeccable. It was this nice kind of low light setting. It's looking pretty good. I'm excited with how this is coming out. It's time to move on to trail running. For this, the light was fading on us and we didn't have a ton of time, so we had to be quick. Next up, we woke up bright and early to hit the waves and go surfing. Now, fun fact about me, I can't actually surf, or at least I'm not that good at it. So even though I do look totally natural holding the surfboard here, all we were doing was getting footage of me running into the water holding this board, and then we would cut it in with somebody who could actually surf. Here we are out at the beach. We've been filming for a little while now and have been getting some really good footage. We're out at this place called Big Beach here on Maui. It's looking really nice. Look at that beach. Look at that. This is so nice. Can't complain. Steven's just getting the camera set up there. I am the surfer, so I've been holding that surfboard and running in and out of the water. And we've just been getting a whole bunch of B-roll, a bunch of footage for our video. And I'm super pleased with how everything is coming out, so it's looking good. Something that's really cool about these lenses is that they have drop-in filters. This means that you can add filters like a Pro Mist filter or an ND without having to screw anything onto the front of the lens. This is really useful, especially for something like the 14mm, where you can't even put any filters on the front of that lens because they'll cause a vignette, so you can just drop it in the back and you've still got an ND filter. Once we were done at the beach, it was time to move on to my favorite part, which was scuba diving. Okay, so we picked up a whole bunch of scuba tanks and everything, and so we're gonna head out and start diving. Cool! Scuba diving was one of the main activities that we knew that we wanted in our commercial because the Apple Watch Ultra also doubles as a dive computer. This is also one of the main features that makes it different than just a normal Apple Watch. And to get the underwater shots with our Sony a7S III, we used this guy. This is the Sea Frog's underwater housing, and it is the cheapest underwater housing that you can buy. Most underwater housings for a camera like this cost more than the actual camera itself. But we found the Sea Frog's underwater housing, and it only comes out to around 750 bucks. Now, you might be asking yourself, is it actually any good? And I'm happy to report that yes, it's actually pretty good. We've been using this thing for over a year now, and we've actually taken it with us to places like South Africa and haven't had any problems yet. We've even taken it down to about 100 feet, and still nothing, it's totally fine. This underwater housing allows us to have full control over our camera while underwater and also get some pretty awesome footage. That is it for the shooting. We filmed this over a week and it was an absolute grind. We were up for every sunrise and every sunset, but it was also a ton of fun.
For the editing, we mainly tried to stick to this storyboard here, but the video didn't turn out exactly as we had drawn it. This is because when you're traveling to a new location like this, you run into the issue of not always knowing what you're going to be doing, what you can do, as well as what each location is going to be like. Obviously, with more time, you can scout locations and get things absolutely perfect, but when you're doing run and gun like this, you kind of just have to go with the flow sometimes. And with that being said, if you want to edit any of this footage that we shot on this trip, make sure you check out the editing contest. And big thank you to Nisi for letting us use their Athena lenses. These lenses were awesome and made our footage look amazing. So if you're interested in checking out the Athena lenses, there's going to be a link down in the description below. And without further ado, here is our Apple Watch Ultra spec ad shot on the Nisi Athena lenses.
It takes something special to dive into the unknown. Take on the challenges that shape who you are as a person. Introducing an ally for every adventure. The Apple Watch Ultra. No matter your medium, it's always by your side. With the largest battery of any Apple Watch, it's designed to keep you going, day in and day out. The ultra-light titanium body and sapphire crystal display maximize durability. To endure the depths you'll go, the memories you'll capture, the terrain you'll trek, the pace you'll set, and the miles you'll log. All possible with the Apple Watch Ultra.